Okay. Well, thanks everybody. I was going to just do this video or this training video for just my downline. Then I was talking to Jan. I'm like, why not open it to everybody? I'm just going to cover two main topics. We've had a lot of new ambassadors lately, so there's going to be part of it's going to be covering getting started, and then secondly, I think which would be beneficial to everyone is how to convert those customers to ambassadors. And I think there's a lot of great ideas out there. Some people are really good at doing that, and I just want to share some of the ideas and some of the things that I do as well. So like I said earlier, welcome for coming here to the training. And obviously it's important when you attend these meetings, because it shows that you have a great interest in your business, and it shows your downline that, hey, that you're serious about it. So hang on one sec. Hang on one second. Yeah, are you on Zoom with your phone? All right, sorry for that, but it looked like Jana was going to join us, and if she wants to do it, she can. But this is I was make sure she could hear me, and that way there's no problems. But anyway, like I was saying, when you attend these training meetings or events that and you have ambassadors, it really encourages them to do the same thing. If you're not doing those things, being proactive in your own business, they're going to do the same thing. So it's all about replication, and but it's also the more, like I think Jana had said before, and you might have heard, but the more that you hear these things, the more you hear about it, the easier it is for you to share it. So if you said, well, I've already been to Rod's training meeting on getting started, or I've already been to an opportunity meeting several times, trust me, each time that you go, you're going to hear, maybe a different way that somebody presented the material, a different testimony, different ideas. So you really can't get enough, and so you really should take advantage of it. I mean, it's something that we're offering, with our time, and I think it's something that people should try to, attend or utilize the recordings. The main topic, or the first topic, has to do with getting started, and it's really, I've always felt that once you got an ambassador signed up and they're excited, you want to keep that momentum going. You don't want to say, okay, I'll get with you next week sometime, or a few weeks or several days. Obviously things happen, but if you can, try to keep that initial inertia going, that energy, because that's gonna keep them. If people get a fast started in the way they start their business, they start immediately seeing some success. They'll start getting inquiries about the products. They'll start getting customers, maybe an ambassador. It's going to motivate them. So you really want to get them started, and by getting started, I mean to, make sure that you're Facebook friends with them. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who recruit someone and then they're not really friends. It's like, okay, you got to friend that person. Secondly, is make sure that they're plugged in with your ambassadors in your customer group, and get them networked that way. We also have a great team page, the Rock and Plexus Ambassadors. I highly suggest that you keep yourself involved in there and engaged, and keep you, and then add your ambassadors. It's a 24/7 support group, and it's a great support group, and so you really want to utilize that to your advantage. And so, just add people in there, and during the day, myself or Jana will approve. There's some other people that do the approvals, and we'll get those people into the uh, training group. And also, we have the one-on-one training where there's 7 posts, and it's very simple for somebody who's getting started. You just point them in that direction and say, hey, you can tag them, add them in there, and then you write a little post on that red arrow and say, hey, read these 7 posts on this page. And those are the 7 posts that Jana had initially wrote that got her started. They were the things that she wished that somebody would have handed her. So you want to instead of reinventing the wheel, just put these people in there and ask them to read these posts. We also recently created the Rock and Training Videos group, and this is just a collection of all the great videos that we've been finding, the ones that we're also creating ourselves and we're putting there to share. And it's the videos that Jana has looked at, and myself, and feel like these are the ones that we want to make sure that everyone sees. So those 3 groups are very essential. And there's also all the testimonial groups. And the in our group, we have the training manual, which is listed under the pin post. And if you don't have it, I suggest you download it and look on there, and you'll see some testimonial groups. You can also search Facebook and just type Plexus testimonies or testimonial, and you'll find a whole slew of them that you can join. But hopefully your sponsor has added you to a majority of those, because you're going to find one for almost every product that we have. And so let me go ahead and share my desktop, and then we're going to jump right in there. I'm going to go right to my lounge, Rod's Plexus Slim Lounge, and it's I covered this the other day with some people, and I think it's worth repeating. You want to have in your customer group, you want to have a banner. If you don't know how to make a banner, there's plenty of people that can do one for you. Maybe your sponsor, maybe somebody on the side. There's free tools online. If you have a Windows computer, I know that you can go to Paint and use the edit feature and add text to a picture. So, it's some really simple stuff, and you can just get a picture, and the essentials is making sure you have your Plexus website. I have a domain which redirects them to my Plexus products page, but if you don't have that, just make sure you put your website there, as well as your ambassador number, because obviously sometimes they do get prompted and ask, what's the ambassador you're purchasing from, so they'll have that available. And then a phone number, and I have my phone number on this here, excuse me, on my banner. This actually is just my business card that that I actually just converted into my banner. So, you can be creative any way you want. The more places your link to your website is visible, the better. You're going to find, like on mine, I have my under description, I have it here. So if I click on here as a customer, it's going to take me right to that website. I also have it listed on my pin post on the very first line. And so these are, and I keep repeating this over and over because I get added to, I'm in hundreds of Plexus groups, and I'll go there and visit, and I'll post occasionally my video or something. I try to share the love as much as I can. But you'd be surprised, a lot of people that they don't even have a banner, they don't have a website link, they don't even have a pin post. And so you know, you really want to go through the training manual or ask someone, hey, how do I do this? How do I build a closed group page? Because it's really essential that you do it properly, because once you start putting your customers in there, and I suggest you don't put anyone in your customer group until it's ready. And I mean ready where somebody besides you, a few other people, hopefully other people on the team that are, you're friends with, have had a chance to look at it, maybe added their testimonies to it, their before and afters, and that'll give you a chance to have something, you know, to present to your friends once you start adding them to your customer group. Because if you don't have some material, they're gonna think, well, why did Susie put me in here? And that's where the pin post comes into play. And the pin post, essentially all it is it's a post that always stays on top. And so once you make a post of explaining what the group's about, what the product has done for you, maybe a picture like your before and after, you know, once you create that post, then you'll have an option after it's posted that will say pin post. And so that keeps it at the top. So anytime you or someone else places another post, it goes below it. And it's something that I think is essential because it gives people a reason to know, hey, why did Rod put me in this group? And it gives explanation. And a lot of it's just common sense, but sometimes we just forget. But you want to publicize yourself as much as possible. And another thing is to let me show you here, under your edit group settings, there's a few things that I do, not everybody does, but you want to, I keep it where anybody can add members, but an admin must approve them. And that just keeps me a little control of who's in there, because sometimes there's a lot of people who are not even, we don't even know who they are. They're not really any mutual friends, or they're not Facebook. I don't even know who they're. To me, they're just out there doing it up to no good. And so those people, I just don't approve them. And so it gives me a little bit of control. I also put a web name for my group. So if you look at the top here, it says groups/Raw Garcia's Plexus Slim, and then edit, because I'm inside of this. But it just makes it cleaner, and you could actually just grab that link and so if somebody says, hey, what's your customer group, you can post that on your wall. You can go sometimes we'll have some kind of participation event on the Rockin' page, and so you want to plug in your URL. So it just makes it a little bit easier. By default, when you create a customer group, it's always going to be closed, and you should leave it closed. Don't make it secret, and obviously don't make it public. It gives you some control, and it gives privacy to your customers who may not want everything that they say out there on the news feed. The problem with making it secret is your website won't be found. If it's secret, it's secret. So you can invite people to it, but if you have a business card and you have on there Rod's Plexus Slim Lounge and you hand it to people, they're not going to be able to find you. So you want to make sure that you just keep it closed, and it just saves some headache, and then you can save it and then be done with that. So that's really just setting up the customer page. The other thing I want to stress to people is and I have to do it myself. I have my regular job, but I try really hard to do at least 3 posts a day. So I did this one here during lunch, and if you followed what I said on my tip of the day from last night, I was using my same small fee tip that I was doing. So I added that, and I try to post in the morning and then throughout the day. So I have quite a few different variations of testimonies and other stuff that I add, and the idea is to keep it fresh. is to keep it, not looking, like it did a week ago. Because if somebody, one of your friends or customers comes in and they look just like a store that you might have been to before, that everything on the shelf is the same thing, the same. You've already seen the product, you've seen everything, and you're going to leave. And so you don't want people to think, well, this person's not serious about their business, and everything they present doesn't pertain to me. So, considering we have about 14 products, you should, be posting about those different products. And if you have a testimony on them, post that testimony of what their product's done for you. That speaks volumes. It's great that we post before and after pictures of other people, and with their testimonies, but nothing speaks volumes without more than your own words, because your friends trust you, your friends know you, and hopefully you have some integrity, and so they really believe in you. And so with that, whatever you post, if you post a testimony of what the product's done for you, it's going to speak volumes. And I suggest that don't just post in your customer group. Occasionally some people do it daily, some people do it weekly. I try to do it every so often. It may not be a direct Plexus post, but it'll be something that is I kind of just tie into my daily life, something that I did that was better because of Plexus, or just whatever. But somehow I tied it into the product or what it's done for me or my family. So post it on your regular wall. People will sometimes not see what's in your customer group, and it's all about the timing. If you have a lot of Facebook friends, it's hard to keep up with all the posts that everyone puts out there. So can you imagine if you're not an ambassador, you might miss those things. So you just want to post as often as you can. I also suggest that you utilize your on your personal wall, use your about. Just like here, I have my title or my rank as a Senior Gold Ambassador, and then I have my Plexus Slim Lounge listed here, which is more publicity I think it's beneficial. And I also have my regular job, my JOB, where I'm a senior engineer for the American Cancer Society. So it's something that, it's free advertising. I think you should put it there, and just use it to your advantage. So getting back to your customer group, one thing you want to keep in mind is if any of your friends or family members are saying, hey, I'm really getting tired of seeing all the Plexus posts that you've done, I would encourage them just to turn off notifications. Tell them, hey, don't leave, just go under notifications and turn off, because you might see something later that you might benefit you or someone so that's another thing you want to keep in mind. But that's really just cancel that. Anyway, that's something you want to just keep in mind, is just keeping your customer group fresh, keeping it interactive. Let's cover that real quick. To be interactive, I have comments and likes on my page. Some of them are friends, most of them are ambassadors, but you know what? My friends don't know who's who. They might assume that, hey, there's a lot of people that Rod knows or they like it, but essentially, and I do get friends, and the friends that do come in here and they do click like, they may not click like on a lot of stuff, but when they come in here and they click like on something that's Plexus related, that I know for a fact that person's watching, and I should follow up with that person and say, hey, have you thought about using the products? We have a 60-day money back guarantee, and so it's a reason for opens a conversation. So keep that in mind, that in order to have that interaction, you need to be friends with your downline your upline, and you need to, just there's plenty of wonderful people in the Rock and Plexus ambassadors that you'll be friends with, and if you just would help each other out, putting each other in each other's customers group, you could essentially, support each person. So I have a lot of people in here, and I do appreciate the posts that I get and the comments, um, and it's just wonderful. But it's all because the way we work with each other. And so I tried, like, during the day, I'll during my lunchtime or in the morning, I'm out there liking and commenting people on the team. And so you really want to do the same. You want to find, reach out to these people and get them involved, because you really can't do this by yourself. You can't just stay home and decide, okay, I'm going to start this business and I'm going to do it all by myself. You really can't. It really involves being friends with other ambassadors, and you'll see more about that later. But this really, it's not rocket science. I mean, if your time is limited, trust me, it only takes a few minutes each day. I do it in the morning before I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I get my phone out and I'm doing it from my phone. And then during lunch, and then in the evening. So it doesn't take a lot of time. It might take a little bit more time when you're answering questions to customers or potential customers, but guess what? That's money in the bank right there. And so it should be worth your time to say, okay, let me go find that information that you need, and I'll get back to you, because those kind of questions are money making. And so I know times is always important, but I think just moving your schedule here and there. Myself and Jan, I mean, we have a house and we got 4 kids, and we stay busy. And so I know for a fact if we can do it, you can do it. There's others out there that have 1 or 2 jobs, and I have my cousin Regina, who she's always I know for very busy, but guess what? She keeps posting, and she has fairly good PV. So it's something we can all do. So that's probably about it, other than making sure you're in those groups and networking. I mean, those things, I can't tell you enough that how much networking is going to benefit you in your business. So we'll leave it at that. But I think it's if you have any more questions on this part, if you need any help, I suggest first you reach up to your upline, and we'll post something in the Rockin' group after the meeting, after the training, and then if you have any questions or that I can help answer, I'd be more than happy to, because we are a big one happy family, and I'd like to see a more success in this business. I think it's a great opportunity, but like I said, we need to keep people who joined. This is people who get signed up. You want to make sure that we keep them moving. The quicker we can get them, motivated and plugged in, and know where their resources are in their back office or with Google Drive or with their team pages, the better. Because like I said, the more knowledge that they have, the easier it is for them to share that knowledge with others, and it keeps that momentum going. And I know for a fact that works. So the second part is I'm going to cover converting customers to ambassadors, and this is something I've been working on in my head, and I finally just put it down into paper. But these are things that you're like, Rod, I know this, I've done it, or I haven't done it, or I kind of write these things down for myself as well, because trust me, we all need to remind ourselves what works. And just like I keep a bulletin board here, and I keep notes of things that I need to remember, so I'll post it up there. These are the kind of things you want to just maybe print up and just keep handy, because you're like, I got to do this, I got to remember this. And it's just easy stuff that you're like, I could do so much better if I just follow these steps. Um, First one, which is follow up, follow up, follow up. I mean, if you're in sales and you know that this is crucial, that once you get a customer, that's not the end of the deal. You need to go through the next part, which is the customer service part. Reaching out to them, saying thank you for them purchasing from your website, because that's money in your pocket. So you really should be showing some gratitude. And then some other ideas is like create a monthly newsletter or an email that you send out, to all your customers. You can just do one email that you send out, BCC, blind carbon copy to all your customers, and tell them, maybe like a helpful hint, or you can tell them about one of the products and highlight it. So these are the kind of things that really, because if your customers feel like the products and the company, and you can answer any question and you're responsive to them, they're going to start taking you serious, that you're not just doing a side business that you're making a few bucks off of, and you'll get to them when you can. You're busy playing softball or something, and they know, but they know that you're doing this, and you're getting back to them and as quickly as possible, and you're responsive, and you're staying in touch with them. It speaks volumes. The other thing is, calling your customers and just, talking to them. I know a lot of people like to do texting or emails, but sometimes just picking the phone up and going, old school, and just saying, hey, how you doing? How's the products working for you? Or, tell me something good about it that it's done for you. Those are the things that really work. And if the person's local to you, take them out to lunch or invite them somewhere and just say, I'm going shopping, and you want to join me? That gives you a chance to find out more about the products, what it's doing for them. And it's building that relationship, which is my last point on this one, because it's all about building a relationship. Because a lot of these customers that I've had, and I know a lot of people are people that you not necessarily have been in contact with frequently. It could be somebody you went to in high school, a friend from high school, or somebody from college, or just somebody you haven't seen in several years. And but it's someone you obviously care about, and you want to talk to. So the stronger your relationship is with them, where they'll start opening up to you, you're going to find out that more information about what the product is doing for them. But it also creates a sense of trust, and so they're going to start trusting you as their Plexus ambassador, and they're going to tell you things about the products and what it's doing for them. And it's just like myself. A lot of people, especially if they're women, they're not going to really want to talk to me about their weight problems. But I know if we're friends and I talk to them quite frequently, they'll be more open to it. So the other thing on my list is to use the 3 sample letters, and they're out there on Google Drive. My wife Jana, she wrote these, and there's 3 great letters. They're a preferred customer letter, a prospective customer PDF, and an inactive past customer PDF. So those 3 are out there, and this whole document I'm going to post later, so you'll have all this information. But you could use these sample documents and send them out to those preferred customers, or these customers that you have, even if they're inactive. And because things change, their finances change. Where before they said they had to stop taking the product because they couldn't afford it. Now things have changed, and now they can. Or now they're thinking, I need to have a second income. Maybe I should start digging into this again about the opportunity. So it kind of puts them in the forefront, because people are saying, oh yeah, Plexus, I did take that. So use those to your advantage. The third thing is, once a customer, someone has been a customer for a month, is show how becoming an ambassador will give them an additional discount on their purchases each month. that converting from a preferred customer to an ambassador, that they do get a savings. And so, hey, you can show them how you can save some money if you want to become an ambassador, because obviously money's always an issue. Either you're frugal with it, or you're just a good steward of it. You want to make sure your money goes as long as possible. And so, if you give somebody an option to say, hey, you can actually have more of a discount if you become an ambassador, because obviously you like the products, that's just another way to reel somebody in. And then, ask them if they would like to learn how to get their Plexus products for free each month. And that's, if you show them how many customers they would need to earn to get their products for free each month, I'd say the average is about 3. For if you're taking Plexus Slim and maybe one other product. But it just, you start opening people's eyes that are like, well, I really love the products, but they start thinking, well, I just need to find out how, long term, what can I do to get these products cheaper. And so one way would be, hey, if you're getting it for free now because you're an ambassador, that's always beneficial. I mean, that's essentially how we got started. Was Jana's like, well, I'll sign up because I want to get them either less expensive, or I want them free. And so since that's probably the most common reason, you want to use that to your advantage. And if possible, I bring this other topic up or point is, if you're talking to them about becoming an ambassador, and maybe you're having some difficulty or just feeling like, I've had this before from some people on my team or others are like, they're either nervous, or they haven't done enough of these, or they're just new themselves and they just don't know how to present the opportunity. Get somebody in your upline, or just like I said earlier about having another friend that could help you out, another network, another ambassador you network with, and see if they can, get on that call with you, and just, so you might want to explain to that person what the opportunity is, or maybe whatever the question they has. I just know it's easier. I like to have Jana around a lot of times if I'm talking to somebody, because I know she has the answer. So it's always, you want to have somebody there, because iron sharpens iron. You want to have somebody else if you feel like you need some help. And also bring them to a local opportunity event. That's really, we went to one just the other day, and those in itself are very motivating. If you have somebody who's kind of like on the fence and they're like, maybe I'll join, I don't know. If you can get them to that opportunity event, it's going to benefit you, because they're going to sense the excitement, for one. And I think Janet covered this in the other video. The people that rode with us up to the meeting that we went to, it builds friendships. That's a whole other, the thing we talked about, building friendships. And so we had this hour-long ride that we took, and so we were building friendships in the car. And so everybody wants to be, involved in these kind of events where there's, people they like, and people they want to, bond with. And so it's those opportunity events are very motivating. They're going to hear a lot of testimonies. They're going to hear success stories, not just with the product, but financially, how somebody was on the brinks of, financial doom, maybe on their last paycheck, and they were able to turn that around. So those are really, and those are free. We can just show up with people to those opportunity events, and, they're more than likely going to sign either that night or the next day. And I wrote on here also, just being around fellow ambassadors, they're going to be excited. We have a fun group of people. And the personalities on this team are just amazing. And, that's why, a lot of us are just excited for convention, because, it's great that it's a Plexus convention and we get to hear about all the stuff coming up and so forth. But it's also getting to meet these people that we've interacted with for so long and maybe never had the opportunity to meet in person, because now we're actually friends and close friends. And so, I'm excited. I can't tell you enough that, there's so much love out there in our team that, and not just our team, but Plexus, I think it's the whole culture itself. Because we have people that we know that are not just below Jana, but even outside of it, that they're like family, and so it's something you want to think about. If you get people to these events, and if you talk about these events to your friends, they might want to join as well. So the next one is ask them questions. Find out if making $500, $1,000, or $5,000 a month would make a difference in their lives. Chances are, no one's going to say no, it wouldn't make a difference. But even if it's $500, some people that's a tremendous amount of financial help in their family, just having that additional $500. I mean, what does that pay for? That easily pay for a vehicle or part of your mortgage. But it's if you think how many hours outside of your house, if you had to go work somewhere, myself, way back when, myself and Janet talked about, well, maybe I should work another job. Even though I have a fairly good job with fairly good income, you still want to get ahead. You still want to pay off some bills. And so, when we were thinking about, and this was right before, her joining Plexus, was that, I could have gone out and maybe worked 20 hours somewhere else, to help, pay off some of these bills and to get where we wanted to. But I would be away from the family, and it would take me much longer to get that dream fulfilled. And so doing it this way, I can't tell you enough how much of a blessing it is, because, I spend more time at home. I work from home, but now I don't have to go anywhere. I can stay here with my kids and my wife, and it's just great because I don't, have to leave the house and go work somewhere else. And so it's something that, you make people think about, hey, it may only, and it's all about the drive. Some people, that they're going to want to make that $500 because they need it. And there's others who want more. And so it's all about presenting the opportunity to them, that the possibilities are really endless. The opportunity is there. I mean, Plexus has great products. It costs a small fee of $34.95 to join. You have all the support that you could possibly ask for. You have all the resources that you could possibly ask for. And so it's hard deal, to pass up. And so, I really stress that, talk the advantages of what Plexus offers. And it's more than just, the things that you can read. It's about, like I said, the personalities. It's about the friendships. It's about, what you can do with that extra money when you do make it, and how you can help other people. So it's, some people may have a passion. One of your customers may have a passion for something. And so if you could find out what that passion is, you could maybe tie that in with how this opportunity could help them fulfill that passion even more. So moving on, you want to share with them the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel for the compensation plans. I misspoke compensation, but I'll fix that. I personally recommend the second one. Myself and Janet, we recommend it because it's just because it's a little bit more detail than the first one, which is very short, and the timing, it's not so long as the third one. But in reality, if you can give them all three and say, hey, if you get a chance, look at this one. But you may want to give them all three. Obviously, you don't want to pressure anyone to becoming an ambassador. Always follow the golden rule and treat everyone with respect. The bottom line is that happy customers are your best source of new ambassadors. So if you know who those customers are that are happy with the products, those are the ones you should be talking to as much as possible. I have a lot of people that say, I'm having a hard time, talking, them or trying to convert them to becoming ambassadors. But these people obviously just need to be reached out, or, one of the things that we went over on this list needs to be done with them. You need to cover some of these points with them, because if they're happy customers, I doubt there's anything on this list here that they are going to say no to, because they're going to want a discount on the products, or they might want it for free, or they might want to see how making $1,000 a month is going to be beneficial to them. So if you have happy customers, those are the ones you want to target. Now, one thing I didn't add on here before I get to the next one is, and I just want to throw it in there on getting customers. If you're new and you're like, well, I don't have that many friends. You have friends. You have friends that you may be overlooking. You have friends from high school, friends from college, friends from your previous job, your current job. Don't forget about the people that your family members and the people they know that people you're possibly acquaintances with. Those are the people you want to bring back, and create that list if you have to. Get those people into your customer group. Become friends with them on Facebook. And so, you need to start thinking outside of just, what you have right now. Think about how can I expand more friends, and how can I get more people in there? And if you say, well, I have all my friends in my customer group, I'm done. You're not done, because I thought for myself that I had everybody I knew, but, I always come across somebody like, okay, I got to get that person into my group, because you overlook people so easily. And so as soon as you make a friend, I don't suggest you make a friend with somebody and throw them in your customer group right away, because they're thinking, well, they're just friends with me because they want me to see their products or whatever. I would suggest you become friends with them, and then a few weeks or a month or something, put them in your customer group, and leave it at that. I think that it always works out best like that. Also, talk about the fun that we have as being ambassadors with the events. I've already talked about this, but we'll expand on it. The convention that's coming up, it's going to be a blast. I can't tell you how much fun we had last year. And so now the group, and like our particular team, has 250 people or so going. And so it's going to be that much more fun than last year, because there's so many people that I want to get to see and hug and just meet, because there's some, like I said, some great people out there that we become friends with. We also have a leadership resort trip they do every year. When you're at a resort, you're having fun, and that's what we did. And they do this annually, and they also do the Hawaii Maui trip, which is every September. And so, even though if you haven't been to those, these are the things you can talk about. The rewards that Plexus offers. Just like the Plexus Lexus. You talk about the rewards that they offer, and how much you're telling them that this is what you're striving for, and so it gets, at least it gets into their ear. So if you do get a chance of getting them recruited, now you got them, you can have them pushing toward their own goal or dreams. And every one of these things, minus the convention, I mean, they're all within your grasp. Anything, so don't give up on it. It just, these are excellent rewards that Plexus offer. I can tell you that I've been to a number of them already, and Plexus, they're top notch when they do any event. I can't tell you, how much, I love going to these things, because they just, they treat their ambassadors very, very well. They don't skimp on on the event, on anything. I mean, it's just, it's top notch, and we really enjoy going to those because they're always fun, and the food's good, and the atmosphere is excellent. So you need to pump not only yourself up, but talk about it to these customers of yours and tell them, hey, I'm working toward this leadership resort, and let me tell you about it. At least puts in their ear. And then last but not least, I heard this from someone the other day, and they said, if your mouth is closed, so is your business. And if your mouth is open, so is your business. So you need to talk about Plexus at every opportunity that you have. I have a Plexus hat on, as you can see. So I have this one, many others, and I also have some shirts like this one I have on. Jan and myself wear these everywhere we go. We wear Plexus apparel, and you would be surprised that people just ask, "Hey, what's Plexus?" Just because they see it and they're inquisitive about it, and it's that opening conversation that we can have with them. So I suggest you invest in these. If you're in my team, I try to do contests for PV, and I give these out. So if you're a team leader, I suggest you start giving out some T-shirts to your high PV. Maybe have a contest, and it's just another way for your business to be advertised. So, and if your friends see it, your customers see you wearing it, they're like, well, they're going to start associating you as the Plexus person they're going to go to because you take it seriously. Here's another misspelling. And then the very last thing is I watch and I subscribe to this Eric Warre's weekly videos, and I'll post this all on the Rockin' Group and also in my team page. But these videos come in, I get an email, I click on the link from my phone or my tablet or whatever, and I watch these videos. And initially when I first clicked on it way back when, I was thinking, how good can these videos be? They're free, and just like everything else that's free, you figure it's either it's just not going to be worth the time. But I have to admit that the videos that he offers are really, really great. I mean, he should be charging for these videos, but these videos are great. The videos we have in the Rockin' Group, the training videos are great. There's also a bunch of other ones on YouTube that Sonia Dudley and Sarah Marbles and Marble and other people have done that are Plexus ambassadors that are great. Use those to your advantage. And then also, maybe you want to read some books on MLM, or networking or something, because, I'm just sharing with you what I think are some essential points that work with us, and some of the things that I feel that we should be doing, including myself. But there's a lot of experts out there that make a lot of money doing what we do, and so I think if we just, sharpen our skills and polish up our profile and put these plans into use, that we could all be there in Maui in September or up there getting our diamond. So anyway, it's 7:50. I wasn't planning to go this long, but I did want to cover these two topics. And if I'm not friends with you on Facebook, go ahead and friend me. I'd like to, like I said, it's all about networking. So, reach out to people that are active in the Rockin' Group. I'll have to repeat this again because we always say this: people that are active in the Rockin' Group or their own or their team page that are active are going to be productive, because their ambassadors are going to do what they do, and so it's all about duplication. So like I said, you can't do this by yourself. You can't do it alone. You can't just do it some of the time. You have to do it all the time. and being consistent. And if you can only post, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then so be it. But at least you're consistent. And even with that, you're going to find that you're going to have some great success. And anyway, uh, thank you for your time. Love you all. Appreciate all that you do. And I welcome all the new ambassadors to go out there and just replicate and do the best you can. And just think you have a family here of ambassadors that are willing to help you. God bless y'all. Take care.